Hey y'all, this is Shon Gerber. Thank you so much for listening today. But before we get started, I have a question for you. Would you like to finally pass the CISSP and get started building a lucrative and rewarding career in cybersecurity? I can help you over at CISSPcybertraining.com with the resources and tools you need to pass the CISSP the first time. At CISSPcybertraining.com, there's a vast array of resources available that will give you the guidance, direction, and training you need to pass the CISSP exam. As soon as you get done with this presentation, head on over to CISSPcybertraining.com so that I can begin helping you today to meet your CISSP goals and grow your career in cybersecurity. All right, let's get started. Welcome to the CISSP Cyber Training Podcast, where we provide you the training and tools you need to pass the CISSP exam the first time. Hi, my name is Shon Gerber, and I'm your host for this action-packed, informative podcast. Join me each week as I provide the information you need to pass the CISSP exam and grow your cybersecurity knowledge. All right, let's get started. Hey y'all, this is Shon Gerber with CISSP Cyber Training, and we're going to go over some exam questions. Let's start with exam question number 19. So before we get started, we're going to go into a couple key topics so that you understand what the questions are asking for. So when we're talking about abbreviations, we got ALE, which is your annualized loss expectancy. And this is something you're going to deal with as a CISO or as a security practitioner within your organization. So you're going to need to know these abbreviations. So annualized loss expectancy, you have asset value, which is AV or Alpha Victor, exposure factor, which is your Echo Foxtrot. Okay, so that's your exposure factor. And then that's going to create what we call an annualized rate of occurrence. Okay, so you're going to have your annualized rate of occurrence is ARO, so Alpha Romeo Oscar. So bottom line is the overall security of this, and you're dealing with the risk management piece of this, is ALE is annualized loss expectancy, AV is asset value, EF is exposure factor, and ARO is your annualized rate of occurrence. So when we talk about this question, what is the formula used to compute ALE? So what is used to compute the annual loss expectancy? You have various different formulas that are put on this question, so you just have to know the right one. A, your annualized loss expectancy is based on your asset value times your exposure factor times your annual rate of occurrence. That would be A. B is your ALE is based on your annual rate of occurrence times your exposure factor. C, your annual loss expectancy is your asset value times your annual rate of occurrence. Or D, ALE is based on your exposure factor times your annual rate of occurrence. The main thing you need to know is this formula. ALE is equal to your asset value times your exposure factor times your annual rate of occurrence. Just know that if you're looking at this, it's the multiplication of all three. If they give you all three of those, that will give your annual loss expectancy. All right, CISSP exam question 20. What disaster recovery principle best protects your organization against hardware failure? A, consistency, B, efficiency, C, redundancy, or D, primacy. Okay, so what a disaster recovery principle best protects your organization against hardware failure? Consistency, A, B, efficiency, C, redundancy, or D, primacy. And the answer is redundancy. Obviously, redundant systems will keep your system and your organization against potential hardware failure. And we talk about this a lot when you're looking at various key pieces within your organization to look at HA pairs, which is your high availability pairs. There's a level of redundancy built into those. So you want to understand redundancy. Now, redundancy can also get very complicated and can get very expensive. So you have to determine based on your risk assessments and based on your risk-based approach, which is best for your organization. Okay, practice CISSP exam question 21. Which resource should you protect first when designing continuity plan, provisions, and processes? So, which resource should you protect first when designing continuity plan, provisions, and processes? A, your physical plant, B, your infrastructure, C, your financial, or D, your people. Okay, which resource should you protect first when designing continuity plans, provisions, and processes? A, physical plants, B, infrastructure, C, financial, or D, people. When you're dealing with the CISSP, and pretty much with anything in life, the physical protection of your people, the safety of your people, is of the utmost importance over any piece of equipment or data that you may have. The reason is you obviously want to protect people from getting hurt and being maimed and dying. So when you're dealing with the CISSP questions, unless it's a negative type asking specifically going, this is not the best time to do that. This is not the first priority. When they're asking those negative questions, it would almost always be people. So think about that. Don't just jump on it, but make sure you read the question fully. But again, people, safety of human life must always be paramount concern in any sort of business continuity planning. It just must be. And I deal with this on a daily basis. It always is about the people and protecting them and your employees. Okay, hope you guys enjoyed that. We'll move on and we'll have some more CISSP questions coming up in the near future. Have a wonderful day and we'll catch you on the flip side. See ya. Thanks so much for joining me today on my podcast. If you like what you heard, please leave a review on iTunes, as I would greatly appreciate your feedback. Also, check out my videos that are on YouTube. Just head to my channel, CISSP Cyber Training, and you will find a plethora of content to help you pass the CISSP exam the first time. Lastly, head to CISSPcybertraining.com and look for the free stuff that is only available to our email subscribers. Thanks again for listening. See you.